Hare Krishna. Thank you, Pawan Prabhuji and Shriya Mataji for the wonderful chanting. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, continue with our prayers. Govardhan Vas Prarthana. Meenakshi Moini is here, so she would like to sing today. Let me share the screen. Okay, so we'll sing together.
Hare Krishna. Nijapati Bhujadanda Shatrabhavan Prapadya Pratihatu Drishto Danda Devendra Garava Atula Pratula Shela Srini Bhupa Priyame Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatvam Pramad Madana Leela Kandare Kandare Te Rajati Nagayono Dvandvam Asmin Adamdam इति किल कलामृतां लग्नस्तद् द्वयोर्मे निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् अनुपममणि वेदी रत्नसिंहासनोर्वी गृहचरधर शानो द्रोणिशङ्गेषु रङ्गे सह बलसखिभिः खेलयन् स्वप्रियं मे निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् रसनिधि नवयोनो साक्षिन्दानकेली द्युतिपरिमलवीदं श्यामवेदिं प्रकर्ष्य रसिकवरकुलाना मोदम् आस्वादयन् मे निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् हरिदयितम् अपूर्वं राधिका कुण्डमात्मा प्रियसखम् इह कान्ठे नर्मनालिङ्गकुत्या नवयुवयोगखेलस्तत्र पश्यान् रहो मे निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् स्थलचलतलशश्वेर्बृहच्छायया च प्रतिपदमकूलं हन्तसं वर्धन्यगः त्रिजगति निजगोत्रं सार्थकं ख्यापयन् मे निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् सुरपतिकृतदीर्घगृहतो गोष्ठरक्षां तव नवकृतरूपास्यान्तरे कुर्तवेव अगपकरिपुनोच्चेदत्तमानाधृतं मे निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् गिरीन्द्रपहरिदासा श्रेणिवर्येति नामा मृदम् इदम् उदितं श्रीराधिका वक्त्रचन्द्रात् व्रजनवतिलकत्वे क्लिप्तश्वेते स्फुटं मे निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् निजजनयुक्तराधा कृष्णमैत्रीरसाक्ता व्रजनरपशुपक्षी वात्र सौख्ये दातः अघनितकरुणत्वं माम ऊरीकृत्वतातं निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् निरुपति करुणेन श्रीसच्चिनन्दनेन त्वयि कपति शतोऽपि त्वत्प्रियेणार्तु प्रियर्तितोऽस्मिन् इति खलु मम योग्यतात्मा निकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वं रसददक्ष अस्य श्रीलगोवर्धनस्य क्षितिधरकुलभर्तुर्यः प्रयत्नाद् दधीति स सपति सुखे देस्मिन् वासम् आसदा यच्च साक्षात् चुबदयुगलसेवा रत्न आप्नोति तूर्णम् निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वं निजनिकटनिवासं देहि गोवर्धनत्वम् हरे कृष्ण
गोवर्धनवास प्रार्थना की जय। श्री रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। Okay. Anyone else would like to read the translation?
I can
Okay.
read it if nobody.
Yes, Shri Mataji, please go ahead.
O Govardhan, O king of all incomparable great mountains, O hill that became an umbrella with the arm of your own lord as the handle, and then destroyed the pride of the Deva king, madly attacking with raised weapons, please grant the residence near you that is so dear to me. O Govardhan, please grant to me the residence near you that will guarantee the sight of the youthful divine couple as they enjoy passionate, amorous pastimes in your caves. O Govardhan, O hill where Lord Krishna happily plays with Balram and his friends in the incomparable jeweled courtyards, jeweled lion thrones, trees, waterfalls, mountain brooks, caves, peaks, and valleys, please grant the residence near you that is so dear to me. O Govardhan, O hill that provides a dark courtyard that witnesses the Danakeli pastime of the nectar treasure youthful divine couple, O hill that brings great bliss to the best of they who relish transcendental nectar, please grant to me residence near you. O Govardhan, O hill that, hiding as you playfully embrace the neck of your dear friend, Lord Hari's dear, unprecedented Radhakund, secretly gazes at the pastimes of the youthful divine couple, please grant to me residence near you. O Govardhan, O hill that by nourishing the cows with its water, grass, and the shade of its trees, declares to the three worlds the appropriateness of its own name, please grant to me residence near you. Govardhan means that which nourishes Vardhan, the cows, go. O Govardhan, O hill, that the enemy of Aga and Baka, honored by transforming into a new house to give Raj protection from the sustained fury of the Sura king, please grant to me residence near you. O Govardhan, O king of mountains, O hill whose nectar name, the best of Lord Hari's servants, flows from the moon of Sri Radha's mouth, O hill that the Vedas declared to be the tilak marking of Raj, please grant to me residence near you. O Govardhan, O philanthropist that gives transcendental happiness to Vraj's people, animals, and birds, all anointed with the nectar of friendship for Sri Sri Radha Krishna, surrounded by their friends, out of your immeasurable mercy, please accept unhappy me and please grant me residence near you. Although I am a cheater and a criminal, unlimitedly merciful Lord Sachinandan, who is very dear to you, has given me to you. O Govardhan, please do not consider whether I am acceptable or not, but simply grant me residence near you. One who carefully reads these 10 nectar verses describing Srila Govardhan, the king of mountains, will very soon reside near that blissful hill and quickly attain the precious jewel of the service to the handsome divine couple. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shri Mataji. So, as Rupa Raghunath Das Goswami is saying here, please do not consider whether I'm acceptable or not. So, like that, whether we have faults or not, the Lord doesn't take the fault. Like the reference to Aga and Bakasur was given with their sister Putana when she came. Lord only took, her mood that she came as a mother who wanted to nourish the child with that mood when she came. So Lord only looked at that mood and gave her the position of a mother in the spiritual world. So like that, even though we may not be able to recite all the shlokas perfectly, it doesn't really matter. The bhav, that's why we say the Lord only is bhavagrahi. He only looks at our bhav. and he takes that. So he ignores all the faults, all the mistakes that we make. So like that, Raghunath Das Goswami is saying here that he is given this so mercifully by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sachinandana gave the Shela of Govardhan to Raghunath Das Goswami and told him to worship him as Krishna. And also he gave the Gunjamala, which is Radharani. So he gave both Lord Krishna and Radha, the divine couple, to Raghunath Das Goswami. So that is how merciful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. And talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, yesterday we saw in Prabhupada Leelamrit how chapter 48, Prabhupada is back home in India. Or actually, as he says, is back home in Vrindavan. He says all the other temples are home away from home, but Vrindavan is the home, right? So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, like we saw Prabhupada's mercy in the form of chastisement. Though Prabhupada says chastisement or criticism. So C is actually mercy. So that is CM. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, CM. So similarly, Prabhupada's chastisement and criticism is actually mercy, and we saw how he was mercifully correcting the faults, the mistakes of his disciples, because he trusted that they're fully surrendered to him and they would take that chastisement as mercy. And all the small things that he told them about the temple, about waking up in the morning for the morning program, making sure that the bell was ringing appropriately at the right time, right? And the book temple or the bookcase, bookshelves that they had, again, that one thing of the birds being there, so cleaning up all of that. So yeah, like that. So yeah, morning program is very important. Today is very, very auspicious, Utthana Ekadasi. So wishing you all a very auspicious and bhaktiful and blissful Ekadashi. So today is the day when the Lord actually wakes up. Utthana. Utthana means waking up. So as the Lord awakes from his 4-month sleep of Chaturmas, so may this day be the awakening of our consciousness. So thank you all for waking up in the morning for Mangal Arti or Mangala program. So like I remember my Guru Maharaj, we were reading once, and he was saying in one of his classes that, one devotee was saying that he went to the Mangala Arti program, and then he was so tired he went back and slept. So then Guru Maharaj noticed, not noticed in the sense like he was missing in the morning program, the other things. So then he woke up again at 7:30 because he knew that Guru Maharaj will be giving the Bhagavatam class. So then he comes, and then Guru Maharaj said, "You were missing in the morning program today." And he says, "No, Maharaj, I was there for the Mangalarti." He says, "No, you missed the morning program." Then he said, "No, I was there for the Mangalarti at 4:30. And then Maharaj said, "No, you were missing for the morning program. Morning program includes Mangalarti, it includes Guru Puja, chanting, and it includes the Bhagavatam class. So that is the morning program." So like that. So you were saying 40%, actually 20% is, attending the Mangala Arati, 40% is chanting, 10% is attending the Guru Puja, and 30% is attending the Bhagavatam class. So that makes 100% of morning program. So, and that if you see 40% is for chanting and 30% is for Bhagavatam class. So 70% is focus. Guru Maharaj is saying 70% is actually Shravanam and Kirtanam. So by waking up today on the auspicious day of Utthana Ekadashi, as the Lord is awakening, it's very auspicious that we are able to take part in this 100% of the morning program. Okay, so let's continue from here. Chapter 48, back home in India. On Radha Ashtami, Srila Prabhupada laid the cornerstone for a large Gurukul building adjacent to the Krishna Balaram Mandir. He said that when it was built, the devotees should accommodate 500 students there from all over the world. Through the gorgeous temple, the guest house, and soon the Gurukul, Srila Prabhupada intended to draw as many people as possible to the shelter of Krishna in Vrindavan. For this end, he was willing to sacrifice everything, even his peaceful writing. And for this end, he also demanded his disciples to sacrifice. Constant travel, Srila Prabhupada said, was becoming more and more inconvenient, one reason for his return to India. But he was by no means stopping. Unless he traveled, his movement could not remain vital and healthy. So he was prepared, despite inconvenience, to continue touring, Disciples never stopped inviting him to travel, and recently Pushta Krishna Swami had asked him to come to South Africa. When Prabhupada agreed, Pushta Krishna had quickly arranged 10 festivals and other engagements in Durban and Johannesburg, covering a period of 3 weeks in October. Devotees on the predominantly Hindu island of Mauritius had also requested Prabhupada to visit, mentioning that the Prime Minister wanted to meet him. Prabhupada agreed, leaving Vrindavan, making brief stops in Delhi, Ahmedabad, and Bombay. He was off to Africa. Mauritius, October 1st, 1975. Relieved of management, Prabhupada was freer now to lecture to interested gatherings. Reception by the press and government ministers in Mauritius was good, but most public of questions reflected a lack of sincere interest in spiritual knowledge. Is it necessary to be a vegetarian? Is the soul locked in the third eye? You seem dogmatic. Is there any doubt in your philosophy? Nevertheless, people were respectful and considered Srila Prabhupada an important leader and spiritual authority. He remained there for a week. Durban, October 5, 1975. This was Prabhupada's first visit to South Africa. For 2 years, the devotees there had been trying to get him a visa. But the government was wary of foreign missionaries. The bureaucratic delays, therefore, had taken months. The devotees had even had to send copies of Prabhupada's books for the government officials to review. Every night for a week, Srila Prabhupada delivered public lectures to crowds of at least 1,000, mostly Hindus, but also many whites. After Prabhupada's lecture at the University of Durban, Westville, a member of the faculty, tried to discredit the lecture by stating, well, this is just the Hindu concept. Repeatedly, Srila Prabhupada tried explaining how the principles of Krishna consciousness were universal and scientific, but the man kept replying that it was Hindu culture. Dr. S.P. Olivier, rector of the university, sympathized with Prabhupada's presentation and stayed afterward to speak at length with him. I think you are quite right, Dr. Olivier began, but very few people tonight got the point you were trying to make, that this is a scientific reality. Johannesburg, October 12th. Srila Prabhupada's arrival at the Johannesburg airport was culturally extraordinary for South Africa. White men bowing down before an Indian. The devotees had borrowed a yellow Mercedes Benz and had parked it in a spot reserved for state ministers and other dignitaries. No one objected. As Srila Prabhupada arrived, devotees threw flower petals, some young European onlookers bowed down, and the police, impressed by all the protocol, saluted Srila Prabhupada and respectfully opened the door to his Mercedes. As in Durban, Prabhupada's lectures were well attended. He was keen to have his books sold during these programs, and he would go to the book booths and ask his disciples, are they buying the books? He was concerned that the Europeans, not just the Hindus, buy the books. Prabhupada spoke strongly against racial discrimination, but unlike Mahatma Gandhi, who had been imprisoned in South Africa for his outspoken views, Prabhupada spoke on the authority of scripture. What is this black-white business? He said. It is nonsense. It is the bodily concept of life. In South Africa, such statements would ordinarily have been considered volatile politics. Yet everyone appreciated Srila Prabhupada because he spoke on a purely spiritual level. One of Prabhupada's disciples in South Africa, Riddha, asked privately how to deal with the racial issue in Johannesburg. The only solution, Prabhupada said, was Mass Harinam Sankirtana. When Riddha asked about starting a farm community, Prabhupada replied, don't be so eager to move out to the country. The preaching is in the cities. He said he was very pleased with what his disciples had done in South Africa within such a short time. While Prabhupada was in Johannesburg, Rameshwar and company fulfilled their promise and reached him with copies of both volumes of 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada took the books with him to the lecture at one university and quoted from them, speaking on Lord Rishabdev's instructions, beginning with the verse in which Rishabdev advises his sons not to live for sense gratification. Mauritius, October 24th. Prabhupada had returned to meet with the Prime Minister. As a friendly gesture, the Prime Minister had sent a chauffeured car for Srila Prabhupada's use in Mauritius. One day, Prabhupada was leaving to take a ride in the countryside, but as he was about to enter the car on the right side, Pushta Krishna Swami suggested, Srila Prabhupada, come to the other side. It is safer. And Prabhupada complied. For half an hour, they rode through the beautiful countryside, past sugarcane fields, mountains, and the ocean. At one point, they stopped and walked along a cliff beside the sea. When they returned to the car, Brahmananda Swami opened the right side door and Prabhupada said, no, the other side is safer, just as Pushta Krishna had previously suggested. A few minutes later, as Prabhupada's black Citroen was rounding a curve, a Volkswagen suddenly appeared, heading toward them in the same lane. Prabhupada was seated behind Pushta Krishna and Brahmananda was seated behind the driver. The moment before the Volkswagen had appeared, Srila Prabhupada had sat up cross-legged, planting his cane against the floor of the car to support himself. As the Volkswagen rushed toward them, the chauffeur braked, swerving to the left, but the Volkswagen swerved in the same direction. There was a head-on collision. Pushta Krishna's head hit the windshield, cracking the glass. The driver's head also slammed against the glass, and his face was covered with blood. In the back seat, Srila Prabhupada remained sitting, his face set gravely. Brahmananda, in shock, suddenly embraced Prabhupada as if to protect him, although the danger had already passed. Brahmananda then jumped out of the car to try and flag down a motorist, and Pushta Krishna got out and opened the back door, where he found Srila Prabhupada with his face bruised, his leg bleeding, and pieces of glass scattered at his feet. Prabhupada didn't speak or indicate how he felt. Suddenly, Pushta Krishna realized that the car, disabled on a curve, was in a dangerous position. So he joined Brahmananda in the road to caution motorists and to try to get someone to stop. The Citroen and the Volkswagen were totaled, and the man and woman in Volkswagen were both injured. Motorists soon stopped, and when the injured persons had received help, Prabhupada and the devotees got into a car and rode back to the temple. Harikesha was waiting anxiously, wondering why Srila Prabhupada was so late, when suddenly Prabhupada entered, walking very stiffly, saying nothing. When Harikesha saw all three were injured, he cried out, "My God, what happened? What happened?" But Srila Prabhupada just walked to his quarters and sat down, silent. A devotee brought bandages for the obvious injuries, Prabhupada's chin, hand, and leg, and Pushta Krishna's and Brahmananda's heads. Srila Prabhupada had said nothing since the accident. Finally, he spoke, "Asan api kleshada asha deha." And he translated, "As soon as you accept this material body, there are so many difficulties. We are sitting peacefully in the car, and the next moment, crash." He talked briefly about the collision, and Brahmananda Swami told how, just before the accident, Prabhupada had braced himself with his cane, preventing perhaps more serious injuries. "Get some resin and turmeric," Prabhupada said. "Mix it together with a bit of lye and heat it." Prabhupada was again speaking Bhagavad philosophy and practical medical remedies. It remained a frightening event, however, and Prabhupada asked the devotees to have kirtan. Krishna had saved them, he said. Considering that both cars had been destroyed, the injuries were negligible. Prabhupada sat like a battle hero, anointed in three places with the yellow poultice, while Harikesha read aloud from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the disappearance of Srila Haridas Thakur. Then Srila Prabhupada began talking about the dangers of traveling, questioning the advisability of his extensive touring. His mission of translating Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vaishnava literature was too important for him to be risking his life traveling in automobiles. He had been considering a visit to Nairobi before returning to Bombay, but now he said he would cancel his visit. He said he had never wanted to leave Bombay, but because they had made so many arrangements in Africa, he had come. Perhaps the accident was a sign that he should go back to India. The next morning, with Brahmananda Swami and Pushta Krishna Swami hobbling along, Prabhupada went on his morning walk as usual, although he favored his injured knee. Again, he discussed with his disciples whether he should go on to Nairobi or return to India. Shavana, the president of ISKCON Nairobi, argued that Prabhupada should go to Nairobi. The devotees there were expecting it, he said, and they had made arrangements. If Prabhupada cancelled now, he would probably not come back for a long time. Others, however, argued that there was no question of asking Srila Prabhupada to keep going now. After his traumatic accident, he should go directly to Bombay. Prabhupada heard both opinions, but he was more affected by the consideration of disappointing the devotees in Nairobi than of recuperating after the accident. He decided to go to Nairobi. Jai. But after only a few days in Nairobi, Prabhupada became anxious to return to India. Reports were reaching him about mismanagement in Bombay and about building materials being stolen from the property through a conspiracy involving the workers, the storekeeper, and the chowkidars. When Srila Prabhupada heard this, he became so morose he stopped translating. He even stopped eating. Although thousands of miles from Bombay, he was feeling the pain more than any of the devotees there. Many of them, in fact, were not even aware that the theft was taking place. When Brahmananda Swami asked Prabhupada why he wasn't eating, he replied, "How can I eat when my money is being stolen?" Bombay, November 1st. Srila Prabhupada's plane from Nairobi arrived in Bombay at 1 a.m. Yet, even at such an early hour, he was greeted at the temple by a gathering of intimate life members, disciples, and even some of the tenants on the land. When the group followed him to his room, he confided that he had had a serious accident, and he even showed them the scar on his knee. He said he was relieved to be back. In a letter from Bombay, he wrote, "The accident was very disastrous, but still Krishna saved. Perhaps I may stay here for some time for finishing our temple construction on this land." ISKCON Bombay was Srila Prabhupada's office, and he immediately got to work. He fired the engineer whom he held responsible for the poor, slow work and stolen building materials. At first, Prabhupada had tried to avoid hiring a construction company by having Surabhi oversee the whole project, assigning work to various subcontractors, but that wasn't working. Srila Prabhupada wanted a change, but there was no clear alternative. We have come to Krishna consciousness for a life of eternal bliss, he said to Surabhi. But instead of eternal bliss, I'm suffering eternal anxiety. He appealed to Surabhi, Giriraj, and the others to do something. One day, a life member, a construction engineer, visited the site and told Srila Prabhupada the temple and hotel could easily be completed in 6 months. Prabhupada then berated Surabhi, who said that 6 months' time was not enough. Now I'm nowhere, thought Surabhi. I'm losing my service. But then another life member, Mr. Omkar Prakash Dhir, the chief engineer with ECC, one of India's largest, most reputable construction companies, came to the Sunday feast and examined the work. Appalled at the poor quality, he said that after 2 or 3 years it would fall apart. Giriraj, impressed with the idea of hiring Bombay's biggest, most competent construction firm, spoke with Prabhupada, who was also interested. At first, Surabhi resented that the work was being taken out of his hands, but after meeting with Mr. Dheer, he also liked the proposed change. The contract was made with ECC, and Mr. Dheer presented a progress chart detailing each phase of the work and showing when it would be completed. Srila Prabhupada was pleased with their professional methods, despite the higher cost. Now the work could be done as professionally and as quickly as possible, and this was what mattered most. Prabhupada stayed for the greater part of November, and the construction progressed quickly. There was no question of cutting corners to save a little money. Prabhupada explained to Surabhi the temple had to be a beautiful jewel so that people from all over India would want to come and stay. During the Vrindavan construction, Prabhupada had emphasized, why so much? Why not just simple? But now he was stressing, why not more? The temple should be opulent and ornate, with marble everywhere. The hotel should be the finest, with beautifully furnished rooms and an elegant restaurant, and the air conditioned theatre building should be one of the best in Bombay. Why not marble on the floors? Asked Prabhupada, speaking of the hotel rooms. It's going to be very expensive, said Surabhi. Don't worry about money, Prabhupada said. Can you put marble on the floor? Then do it. Surabhi did it, but tried to save money by putting a cheaper stone in the hotel hallways. When Prabhupada saw it, he was displeased. It should have been all marble, he said. Funds for the Bombay construction came primarily from the sale of books in America, and Srila Prabhupada was regularly receiving reports. On November 18, Rameshwar sent a telegram with some of the good news. 1 million copies of Back to God had just printed. Devotees gone wild. Promised to distribute all within 1 month. Spanish Gita just off the press, bringing hundreds of millions to your lotus feet. All possible by your mercy only. Hare Krishna. Okay, pause here. It's all mercy, mercy, and mercy of the acharyas, by which even impossible becomes possible. Hmm. Yeah, so again we see Prabhupada is in the mood, like he's not caring very less about himself, when the devotees are inviting him to any place in South Africa, Johannesburg, Durban, now Nairobi, he was asking the opinions from everybody, but ultimately he goes by where the Lord, desires him to go. And in mode of preaching, we see again, what his mood was, that even if his personal health was not appropriate or not well, still, if there was opportunity to bring aspiring, sincere seeker souls to the lotus feet of the Lord service, he would go there, despite all inconveniences to his own material body. And yeah, so there was a sign was there, and then of course we see how he got into that accident in Mauritius, and still he was not bothered by that, and continued with his activities. So yeah, it is incredible, how much he did at that age. This is almost when he was 79 years, just 2 years before his passing away from this mortal planet. So at that age, how much of travel, how much of personal austerity. So it is very evident. That is why we see why his disciples were really attracted, because he was pure at heart, pure in his dealings, pure by his character and his activities, achar and prachar. So he was not just talking, but he was walking the talk. So that, of course, will inspire, and it will attract sincere souls and that is what has kept the purity within ISKCON. I mean, all the other, with of course no no offense to any other paths, but the purity, this, like we say, the gold's purity is by heating it again and again, like that. And the purity of devotional service that Srila Prabhupada taught, I don't think any other Acharya of this times has taught and will ever happen again in the future. So this purity that he lived by his own personal example, it's not just for material sense gratification, like he was saying. It is all about pure devotional service. So, Anukulina Krishna Anushilana Bhakti Uttama. So, this is not covered with any tinge of material wants, or not just material bodily, but even mind. Like yesterday, Girajai Prabhu was giving a very nice katha on, the Lord. It's not just the bodily things, but even the subtle body, right? Like Shakatasura came in a subtle form with just the mind intelligence. So the Lord kicked even that. So may on this auspicious day of Ekadasi, may we not just reduce our bodily demands, but even the demands of our subtle body, like Prabhupada taught purely. So this is nothing to do with body, nothing to do with mind. It is all to feed our eternal identity, which is the spirit soul. And that is what Prabhupada is teaching here. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts, comments from today's reading? Yesterday we said ABC. ABC is also awakening in Brahma Muhurat. Awakening in Brahma Muhurat and awakening our consciousness. That is ABC also. So thank you for waking up in the Brahma Muhurta, trying our best, at least this month of Kartik. If not, of course, like I said, we can't give everything to the Lord. At least we give this one lifetime. That's what most of Srila Prabhupada's disciples used to say in their lectures, and that we can't give anything to the Lord. At least we have given so many lifetimes to ourselves. 8.4 million species we have been going around and round and round. At least this one lifetime we can give to Srila Prabhupada, and that is what his disciples did. And if we are not able to do even that, at least we should give one year, not even 1 year, at least give this 1 month of Kartik to Srila Prabhupada and to the Lordships. So thank you for doing that and giving us each other our association in the morning in this month of Kartik for Mangalarti and for the morning program. Mataji, were you saying something, Sangeeta Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
today, I think today we studied about the mercy of the God, and nothing is impossible in the life. If that the mercy of the God is,
Yeah, Prabhupada escaped from the
but the
accident.
Prabhupada escaped from the accident, and that about also buildings. So how that the poor quality buildings was collapsed, and that so that Prabhupada concerns about that, and then that the new engineer and big engineer coming, and they made that the better place in the Mumbai. That's it. We learned from it.
Yeah.
Krishna mercy.
It was only about the
How the
Krishna
mercy.
mercy. Yeah.
Krishna is pleased and he orchestrates, right? We see so many like this examples, like miracles happen. Yeah, Prabhupada desires and then God, God sends. So right. So Lord is sending these engineers, the best of the best in the city, in the country, like London when Prabhupada wanted his Krishna consciousness spread, George Harrison came, right? And he helped today we have a beautiful temple in London, the one that he gifted, the Bhaktivedanta Manor. And, he gave he donated for printing of the books, right? And he wrote the foreword in the Krishna book. So many famous personalities. There's like we see, I mean, they are attracted, really Krishna is orchestrating behind the scenes, right? Krishna, that's why we see the Lord's hands everywhere, that, he will always make sure that his pure devotees, don't, their desires are always fulfilled. So even today in Mayapur, Ambrish Prabhu, like we talked about, he is a great grandson of Henry Ford of the Ford Motors, and he's one of the billionaires. And he helped in the Detroit Temple, the Fisher Mansion that we have today in Detroit, and now in the Mayapur Temple. Of course, he's playing a critical role to bring that project to reality. So yeah, so yeah, Krishna always sends help, not just help,
Mm.
but the best of the best.
Yes,
So yes, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
yes. Hare
Will you
Krishna.
be you be coming to the center today? Maybe we can meet, Mataji. I don't think I
Yeah,
have.
yeah. I can come to it because I have some health issue. I am suffering in the viral fever now. So I
Oh,
tried
okay,
my best to come to the evening in the one. Last time also I came. Last Saturday I came to the center.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, maybe I don't know you by face, so maybe we'll. If I see you, then I'll remember.
Yeah, now it the season change, weather change. So
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, hope you feel
but
better
I
now.
can. I
Mhm.
try to my best to came today. Today is Ekadasi.
Today's
So that is
Ekadashi, and we have a very wonderful guest
mm,
speaker, Rohini Priya
okay.
Prabhu. Yeah, Rohini
No,
Priya
I can.
Prabhu.
I come, sir. I
Yes,
come for with
yes.
you.
Okay,
I think.
Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Anything? Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll pause here. Thank you so much for your association. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Prabhupada की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद लीलामृत की जय, उत्थान एकादशी की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.